me today is Chef Jamie. We have had the pleasure of meeting you ladies on a few occasions, and today we want to show you a quick and easy Tuscan chicken pasta dish. Now, if you know anything about pasta, I want to let you know right now that you need to call upon this lady right here. She taught me how to make pasta, and I call her like the pasta queen. Yes. What do you say?
I don't know about that, but I receive it. I receive that.
Yes. So Chef Jamie, like a few weeks ago, we actually did a Rasta pasta class, and we made pasta from scratch. It was absolutely amazing, and now I will never buy store-bought pasta again. So today we are going to share with you a pasta dish that is absolutely amazing, flavorful, and delicious. So,
yes.
You ready to kick things off?
I am. So, firstly, let me say to you that if you think you can't make pasta, you can. Like, it is way easier than you think. I want to get into these ingredients because you only need 4. And you can make pasta, and it's much healthier, and it's from scratch, which makes it taste way better. So the ingredients you need are semolina flour, and you can use all-purpose flour, but this is the traditional one, so that's what I use. You need 2 whole eggs, and you need olive oil and salt and pepper. That's it. In addition to that, for the pasta, I just want to tell you what else we're going to use. We're going to use a chicken breast, we're going to use fresh spinach, and we're going to use some roasted peppers, I'm sorry, yellow and red, because they're just pretty.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to make some Alfredo sauce, which you'll need some flour, some butter, and I always use rosemary and some aromatics, and finish with some basil and heavy cream.
I
Now,
love
here's the fun part. The only tools that you need to make pasta are this right here, a rolling pin, a knife, and a fork. That's it. That's all you need. So, let us get started.
Yes.
Would you mind grabbing me a fork real quick?
Sure.
Thank you. So you're gonna need 2 cups of flour. The good news is, you might want to use a measuring cup. I don't. I've been doing it for so long, I just kind of can eyeball it, but also pasta is really, really forgiving. So you don't have to feel like everything has to be so perfect, or like things have to be, don't get caught up in too much specificity, if that makes sense.
No, that's good.
So you just put your flour on a clean board. You're going to take 2 fingers and you're going to make a well in the middle. And you're going to make your little well. It doesn't matter if it goes all the way to the bottom. If you can see your countertop or your clean board, that's okay. But you want it to be big enough for your eggs, okay? What I suggest is that you put 1 egg in at a time. And I'll tell you why. Because you're going to put this egg in here, and you may say, oh, that's not big enough for another one. And if it's not big enough for another one, then you need to make space, because otherwise you may miss the next step. So make sure it's big enough. If you need to make a little more room, just take your fork and go around and push it out a little further and make room for the second little button. So you're going to put the second egg in. And what you're going to do now is you're going to put just a little bit of salt and pepper.
She makes it look so easy. And it really is. It is. Now that you've taught me, I get it. I love it. I love it.
So what you do next is you're going to take your fork and you're going to kind of scramble your eggs right in the middle. And you want to keep your fork kind of to the side like this, because what you don't want to do is incorporate the flour yet. And you want to make it so the mixture is like when you're making scrambled eggs. So the egg yolks and the white should become one. So as you do that, when it looks like you're ready to scramble some eggs, then you can start to incorporate the flour. And you just take a little bit at a time. Don't take too much at once. Try not to let the eggs go over the side. Just a little bit at a time. And it'll start to get incorporated. And obviously, for me, this is a little bit easier because, like I said, I've done it a million times. But here's the thing. If the eggs fall over, just go ahead and put a little flour, mix them on in, and just start from there. Don't fall apart. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to still get to the finish line just like we want to.
And I love how you say that the dough is so forgiving, because I've actually had it where it was like really tough. Like I guess I didn't mix the egg in good enough, but I was able just to add a little olive oil to help soften it up too. So there are little tricks that you can use to really get that dough back to the consistency that you need. So thank you for that, Jen.
Absolutely. And
I told you the queen of pasta.
And the thing is, you have to realize is that this recipe, eggs are not all the same size. You know, so sometimes it's going to be a little dry. Sometimes it's going to be a little wet.
And that's what I ran into. It's really dry.
Yeah, if it gets really dry, then you're just going to add, like you said, olive oil, because that's giving the same texture and feel of the yolk. So that's why you can add that. And if it feels a little too wet, you just add a little more flour.
Yeah, that's good.
And so now you see it's kind of like something I can grab with my hand. It's beginning to take more of a dough shape. So now I can ditch my fork and start to pull it together. And from here, I just take it into a little ball and I begin to pick up a little bit of flour, just lifting it up and pushing it back down. We don't have to do too much right now, because here's the thing, it's still a little delicate and it hasn't really turned into the actual pasta yet. We got to do a little kneading for that. So right now I'm just picking up some of this flour that's still on my board, and I'm just picking it up and pushing it back down, and picking it up and pushing it back down. And that's it, because I'm collecting flour from the board but not in one specific place. So this way it can kind of get throughout that. So I'm going to keep doing this for a while. I'm going to do a little kneading and picking up of my board, and we'll see what Nikisha's got cooking. Because we want that sauce to be ready when this pasta is ready, so that we can have this meal.
So while you're kneading, I'm going to start preparing our Tuscan chicken. So just like Chef Jamie shared with you a little earlier, we have one chicken breast here. We've got some red roasted potatoes, red and actually also yellow roasted potatoes, some fresh rosemary. We've got some basil. The basil we're going to use to finish, so we're not even going to touch that right now. But to get started, all we're going to do is take some salt and pepper, get a good amount of salt and pepper, and we are going to season up that chicken breast. So we got some salt and pepper. Get on both sides here. And everything's already been prepped, washed. Everyone knows I'm a Jamaican chef, so to prep my chicken, I always wash it with a little vinegar and water. So we've already got that prepped and everything. So just a little salt and pepper there. We're also going to use some of this Parmesan basil olive oil.
Just adding something as simple as that just adds a whole nother layer of flavor throughout your dish.
Amazing. So we're going to take a little bit of that. And I'd say it's probably no more than about a tablespoon or so. I don't measure anything either, so.
Sometimes, especially when you're cooking something like a comfort food, it's really about just what you feel like. Oh, let me get a little more salt. I'm gonna taste it. Let me do a little more of this. And I think that's where the love comes in.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna go, and the other thing too, with olive oil, you can't ever do too much, right? It's liquid gold, right?
It is, especially if it's Parmesan.
Yes, yes. All right, so we've got our chicken breast in the pan here with our Parmesan, basil, olive oil. We're gonna sear that for a little bit. However, we don't wanna overcook it in the pan because we're gonna actually finish it in the oven, okay? All right, so stand by, let me wash my hands real quick and I'm gonna show you the next piece.
How does it smell good immediately?
I know, right?
Like, at that, let me tell you, a good olive oil change your life.
Absolutely.
And I'm still, look at my bowl. Can you see how it's starting to turn into pasta? I'm coming along over here.
Yes. And then also, so Chef Jamie, today, what kind of pasta are we actually gonna make? What is the shape? What are we gonna do today? I think we should do something different than
Yeah, so
fettuccine.
we're gonna do some bow tie pasta.
I love it.
Yeah, because it's cute.
It is. And I feel like it's cute for summer too.
Yeah, bow tie pasta is very summery.
Yeah.
I feel like people make a lot of cold pastas with bow tie. And it has those little nooks and crannies, so it just picks up, all of that sauce and flavoring gets in there.
So we'll be learning together today because I have not made bow tie, the shape bow tie pasta from scratch before. So I'll be learning with you all today.
And be clear, you can, this is the basic recipe for dough. You can cut it in
Any shape,
whatever
any
shape
size.
you want, any size. Once you get this part down to a science, then we can go from there.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
That smells so good.
It does. And ladies, I hope you're enjoying yourselves so far. Once we get done with today's cooking demo, we are going to list all of the recipes and instructions so you can replay and follow along. Like we said earlier, this is a quick and easy dish, and it's also perfect for summertime.
Yeah. It's not too heavy.
Not too heavy at all. Not at all. All right. So we've got that going. Let's add some fresh rosemary in there. You know, at this point too, if you wanted to add like a garlic clove, whatever you want to do to dress up your pan, feel free. Drop it in there.
And we're actually going to finish our chicken in the oven.
Yes.
So that we can use all of these exciting juices and drippings to make our Alfredo.
Good. So good.
Well, it's not technically Alfredo, but it's an Alfredo base.
Yes.
And this Alfredo base we're going to show you, you can use just to make basic Alfredo, and you don't have to add the spinach and the peppers and all of that stuff. You can just keep it Alfredo and put your little Parmesan in it and keep it like that.
Yes. I love it. All right. So, ladies, what I just did was I put the chicken breast that we seared on the pan first in the oven to finish it off. While that's finishing in the oven, which shouldn't take more than about 15 minutes or so, and I do have another chicken breast prepared, so we don't have to wait that full 15 minutes. However, once that's being finished off in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and start making the Alfredo sauce. So everything could be ready. By the time the pasta's done, we can kind of infuse and add everything together. So, all right, so we're gonna get started with this Alfredo. Our nice creamy Alfredo sauce. All right, so Chef Jamie, this is another one of her specialties. We love to collaborate with each other. One thing that Chef Jamie has taught me with this Alfredo is we're gonna use a whole stick of butter, okay? And don't judge us today. Okay?
Yeah, you can. Listen.
It makes it so much more flavorful and creamy and tasty. So
And we have enough going on. We have enough things to worry about.
Yes.
We ain't gonna get caught up in no butter.
Nope. We'll work it off later.
We sure will. Life is about balance.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll use a whole stick of butter today, and tomorrow we'll have a salad.
And exactly.
That's all we have to do.
I like that.
Get our happiness when we can.
So just real quick too, I did not clean the pan because of course we want to keep those chicken juices and stuff in the pan. So I did add a whole stick of butter. I've also added some more fresh rosemary to the butter as well. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to get a little flour. Okay, so we got some flour here. I'll use about a tablespoon or two.
And when you're looking at a recipe and you see roux, that's what they're talking about.
Yes.
Equal parts fat and flour. So your fat can be, if you're a vegan and you don't eat butter, then your fat can be olive oil.
Yeah, that's good.
So you can do either one. Yeah, and pick up all that goodness from the bottom of the pan.
Let's crank this up a little bit higher.
There you go.
Alright. Let's get it a little bubbly. Let's start bubbling it up a little bit.
And sometimes I put a little white cooking wine in there right now.
I have some.
Oh, let's do it. I think we should do it. That's the thing, like, that's one of the things that I try to think about. Every time you can add just a little bump of more flavor,
Yeah.
you just enhance your dish a little more. Ooh, that's gonna be good.
You have things bubbling.
Yeah.
Bubbling.
I love it. And it just smells good in
It
here.
does.
I don't know if, listen,
gosh,
if you're
this
doing
is
this
good.
with us, then you can hit the amen, because you know what it's doing. If you do it later, make sure that you tag us, post it.
Yes.
Chef, tell them which handle you want them to tag.
So the handle we'll use is Royal Aki. It's Royal and then Ackee. Royal Aki. We create food that inspires. We are a Jamaican catering company and more. And then
oh yes, and then you can tag me as Chef Jamie, Jamie, and just make this. Even if you make a version of it,
Yeah.
you know, just make sure you tag me and tag us and let us see what you created. Also, I want to make note, when I'm teaching people how to make pasta, this is the part they hate. You see how long I've been doing this, right? But you can get these big mussels. And it's worth it because people feel all this love that you poured
Yeah.
into their dish.
All right, so I added about a half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and that's what's gonna help to build up our sauce. And as you can see, I'm using a whisk to kind of keep it nice and smooth. We don't want that flour to start lumping up or anything. And then we'll incorporate a little bit more cream as we go.
All right, so I think I'm to the point where I have actual pasta right now,
Yeah.
which I'm all kinds of excited about. And if you were, if you're doing this along with us, then you can keep going. But also, if you do it on your own a little later, what I would normally do is I would put a little olive oil on the outside of this pasta, and I would wrap it up. And put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes so that it can rest. But because we're all here together, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep on pushing. And you can do that later, or you can do like I'm doing and just keep going, because guess what? It's still gonna taste delicious.
Absolutely.
And it's still gonna be good and tender and all of those good things. So I'm gonna show you how to roll it out. First things first, make sure your board is cleaned. There's nothing, any like remnants of the preparation, because it'll just make it harder for you to roll. And you're gonna take a little more flour, and you're gonna basically flour your board so that you can roll out without your pasta sticking together. What I normally do is I cut it in half, and I start with 1/2. And I'm gonna put a little flour right here on the top as well, because right now we want to make sure that nothing is sticking to our board or our rolling pin. Okay, so ooh, that looks good.
Doesn't it? It smells delicious too.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna roll one way, and then you'll have this long piece like this, and then you're gonna turn it a quarter of a turn and roll that way. Boop. That's
So
it.
nice and smooth.
Look at that.
Perfect.
the other part is, so you want to keep doing that. And everyone always asks, well, how thin should it be? Well, let me tell you, it's going to basically double in size on all sides, width, thickness, and everything. So what I usually say is, you want it to be thin enough that you can see your hand through it. So if you put your hand on the back, you should be able to see it, and that's when you know that it's thin enough, so that you don't have this jumbo pasta. But here's the thing, I love pasta, so if it's jumbo, I'm still eating.
Still good.
Again, like I said, the good thing about pasta is don't get caught up in everything having to be perfect. It should be organic. And it should be, look at that.
It's beautiful.
You know, it should be organic. It should look like you made it from scratch. So don't obsess. Just keep pouring your love on it, and I promise you it will work out. So now we have this big old cute sheet of pasta. We're going to take our, make sure it's enough flour again, because again, we're gonna do a little folding and we don't want it to stick together. So make sure you flour it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start from one side and you're going to fold it, other side, fold it, and what it will look like, you're basically rolling both sides towards the middle. So it will look like that. And we do this so that it cuts, all of the cuts are alike. So you're going to cut, I say about 1 inch all the way across. And if we were making like some pappardelle, we would stop here, because voila.
Very nice.
But we're not today at least. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our beautiful bow tie. What you do is you're gonna cut the lengthwise, and you'll end up with a piece like this. You're going to pinch the top. Uh-oh, dropped it. Pinch the top, pinch the bottom. So now you have 2 pinched pieces, and then you're gonna pinch them together.
That's so cute.
So now,
I love it.
here's your little bow tie. 2 pinches, come on. Yeah, you gotta help me. So
Yeah, so pinch
whenever
the top,
I teach my class,
pinch the bottom,
and then pinch
it
together.
together. I just love how Chef Jamie makes this all so simplistic, because when you go to really fancy restaurants and you see these things from scratch, you're like, oh my gosh, like how in the world did they do that? They had to use a machine, right? But this is all by hand with simple ingredients, and you just like really break it down, and I love that about you. So,
Thank you.
that's awesome.
And here's the thing, whenever I teach my class, people start off saying they want to do bow tie, right?
Oh my
And then they
gosh.
get started, and they're like, oh, this is taking too long.
It
I don't
is
want to do
definitely
it anymore.
time-consuming.
So it
That's
helps to
so
have a partner.
Look at that.
Yes, that's cute, actually. We should have took a picture of that.
Oh my gosh. So when we made our Rasta pasta a few weeks ago, we actually used noodles about this size. So if you get to this point, you're like, I don't feel like doing the bow tie pasta anymore, it's totally okay. You can boil them just like this. But I think the bow tie pasta is so much cuter. So,
It's cute. It's worth our...
yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead while we're doing this.
Finish up our sauce.
Yeah, so the sauce, I just kind of had it resting as we were working with the pasta. I'm gonna get the heat back on. I just didn't want anything over here burning while we were waiting for the pasta to finish up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it on the low heat. We've got our sauce already going. Like I said earlier, we've got a stick of butter in there. We have rosemary, we have some heavy cream. And of course we made, put the flour in there too to kind of buffer it as well. Let me get this thing up a little hotter here.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna add some fresh spinach and some roasted peppers. Of course, we don't measure anything, and put as much or as little as you like.
Yeah, I love spinach, so
Me too.
I just dump it on in.
Me too. All right, so we've got the spinach, putting that all in there. Then we also have our roasted peppers.
Yeah.
We've got some yellow and some red.
They are so cute.
Yeah, so we're gonna just dump that all in there. Let that go for a little bit.
And keep in mind, I still have this other pasta, this other half that I haven't even touched yet. So it's gonna make enough that you can make, you know, one half and you can save the other half. If you wrap it really, really tightly and put it in the refrigerator, you can save it for a little while, a few days, and make the rest at a later time. That smells
looks
good.
So I'm gonna give you a quick little sneak peek of what the sauce is looking like here. So we've got the cream sauce going. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, going. It's going on my pasta.
Oh no! So I tell you what, I was trying to get the camera over here.
We'll take a picture.
There you go. So we'll tag the picture so you'll know what it looks like halfway through. All right. So now we're boiling the pasta on the countertop, right?
Yeah, it's fine. The pasta was excited to get to meet its new friend.
Its friend.
And that's fine.
All right. So I'm gonna grab the chicken.
Yeah.
We have the chicken finishing in the oven. All right. So I will show you guys this without spilling it. So that's the chicken breast. And we're just going to make some nice little slices. Ooh. I'm gonna grab that sharper knife.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, darling.
I'm just over here in bow tie land. Ooh. And pasta, fresh pasta cooks really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So, and look at this. This pasta is so tender. I'm just cutting it with this fork. Ooh, that chicken looks good. Smells good.
It does.
Uh-oh, give me my bow tie back.
The pasta just,
it's
really
ready.
wants to be in my
It's
sauce
ready.
right now, okay?
It's ready to
You
go
won't
to the
leave me
next.
alone.
It wants to fulfill its destiny.
There you go.
All right,
I'm feeling purpose in COVID, okay?
There you go. I'm gonna put it in this water.
Yes. All right, so we already have the water boiling and the pasta's ready to go.
Yes, and it cooks so much quicker than regular pasta, or box pasta, I should say. So it'll just take like about 3, 4, 5 minutes, something like that. Depending on how thin, obviously, you know, you may have made it. If it's a little thicker, it may take a few more minutes, but it doesn't take long at all. Just make sure your water is, oh, that looks so good.
It smells so good too.
Last couple in.
Well, ladies, I hope you guys are enjoying so far. We are almost done. Before we get through, though, we are going to show you just a little plating as well. So,
Yep, a few more minutes and we are there. Ooh.
yep, sauce is ready. We just got to wait for the pasta. And we're ready
The
to go.
pasta's been trying to jump in there. Jump in that sauce anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we are so good.
That's awesome.
All right, so we're almost, I'm gonna wash my hands too.
Smells so good.
Yep, we are almost there. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're going to clean off our board, and we're going to
Get ready for plating?
yes.
Awesome.
We're gonna put our pasta in with our sauce. Hey, little bow tie. And I'm gonna dump that. I'm gonna put it in.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's ready. Because you always wanna put the pasta into the sauce because that's how it collects all of that.
Suck up all the juices.
Yes, it takes all those juices and gets really cute and exciting. See about my pasta. I'm so excited. I want to take it out right now, but I gotta make sure it's ready. And also keep in mind, when you put it into the sauce, it's gonna cook a little bit more in there.
So
as
definitely
well.
don't want it to overcook.
Yeah,
That's
so we
good.
don't want to overcook it.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Aren't they cute?
They are so adorable.
And listen, embrace the imperfections because some of them are gonna fall apart,
And that is okay.
and that is okay.
It's still beautiful pasta.
It sure is,
And
and
tasty.
it's gonna taste beyond. All right, so we're gonna put that in there. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You know, I'll let you do the honors of
Ooh.
mixing it all together.
Me? I get to do. Look,
Yes, you do.
I am all kinds of excited. I need y'all to understand. I wish you could smell what was happening in here right now. It is something
Oh,
else.
that's so beautiful.
I'm trying to tell you. It's so good. I'm gonna let it just tighten up a little teeny bit. Get real hot, exciting. Put that over there. Ooh.
And I love the colors too because I feel like the colors are perfect for summer. You've got the green, the yellows, the reds, and the cream sauce. It's perfect.
And
It's
those
so good.
peppers and that chicken. All of it just marrying together,
Yeah.
getting super cute.
Beautiful. We got a spoon for the extra sauce there.
This thing, it smells. I wish we had smell-o-vision. This thing.
Smell-o-vision, right?
Yes.
Hey, the way technology is advancing, you know?
Soon and very soon. Yeah, this.
Smell-o-vision. I like that.
Ooh, yes. I'm getting all of it, okay?
Please do. Don't leave anything back.
Yeah, we gotta taste it.
All right, there's an extra spoon there for you. There's some
Oh,
extra sauce.
yes. Oh, yes, this is the Royal Aki spoon. It's beautiful and gold. If you want to be fancy, you better go to their site and order you one.
Yes.
So you can be fancy and royal.
We are royalty, ladies, queens.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Listen,
So
if you
good.
can do all this in 30 minutes, I promise you somebody gonna call
Come
you a
on.
queen.
Yes.
Okay? Look,
Now,
let
let's
me show
garnish
you.
it nicely here.
Good, right?
What did we do with the basil?
I don't know, but it can't be far.
You know what? I probably put it in there with that spinach. So
Oh,
it's
you
probably-
did?
It's
And that's
it's
fine.
probably mixed in there too.
And guess
I'll get
what?
some more fresh basil here.
That's okay. It's all okay.
There, we got some fresh basil to
Okay.
garnish.
Yes, and we're gonna take pictures of the finished product
Absolutely.
and make sure you guys see it. Ooh, and that basil smells so
good.
good.
So ladies, I hope and pray that you enjoy today's quick cooking segment. Please definitely follow us on all social media platforms. We're gonna take pictures and also attach some links for you ladies so you can follow along and replay and try this recipe out at home too. Oh, we're gonna eat it?
We have to taste it. We cannot leave without
I
them.
wasn't sure if you wanted me to be big and greedy on TV, okay?
Well, I am.
All right.
Girl.
There is nothing like homemade fresh pasta.
That thing is so delicate and delicious.
It literally melts in your mouth. You can taste the freshness of the pasta. It's not too heavy.
It's so tender.
It's, yes.
That's what you'll discover, that the fresh pasta is so light. It makes you feel like you can have more of it.
And then you don't feel bad about the butter and the cream sauce, right?
There you go.
All right, ladies, we had fun with you today, this afternoon. Please be sure to follow us, and we look forward to seeing you all very, very soon as we can get back on campus. So, ladies, enjoy yourselves. Lots of self-care, lots of love, and some great cooking in the kitchen.
Yes, take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye-bye.